Welcome to the McCat Multimedia Series, a McCat analysis of William James's The Principles of Psychology. Since, for psychology, a mind is an object in a world of other objects, its relation to those other objects must be surveyed. The 19th century American psychologist William James wrote those words in his The Principles of Psychology. And they take us to the heart of his aims in composing a book he hoped would establish psychology as a natural science. James highlighted the uncertainty of psychology, writing that everyone's perceptions and thoughts are contextualized by experience, previous thought patterns, memories, and so on. Therefore, he argued, the thought depends on the person thinking it. James theorized that consciousness and physiology went hand in hand. He believed that it was important to study both in order to develop knowledge of psychology as a field in its own right. This theory was later named the James Lange theory of emotion. But exactly how did James think that mind and body worked together? Let's create a hypothetical scenario and apply his theory. Meet Sabrina. She's hiking through the forest when she encounters a bear. James believed that typically perception would trigger a chain reaction, starting with lower physiological reactions. These would then feed information up the hierarchy towards Sabrina's consciousness. In this case, then, perception is becoming aware of the bear, seeing it. At this point, Sabrina's physiological responses are triggered: increased heart rate, trembling, and sweating. This leads to other physiological responses that James considered were higher up the hierarchy of reactions. Almost certainly, Sabrina will begin to pay an increasing amount of attention to the bear. Only after these basic responses did James say the mind would kick in. Then, the construct of panic and fear would be felt. In other words, James theorized that Sabrina will react physically first, and only then, after this physical reaction is interpreted by her mind, will her consciousness determine what emotions and thoughts she's experiencing. His assertion that context is integral to understanding any given psychological event can also be demonstrated by the presence of our hypothetical bear. Let's imagine that instead of roaming free, our bear is in a cage. It makes sense that Sabrina's physiological response to a somewhat safer encounter would be different and less likely to result in feelings of fear. If Sabrina has frequent contact with bears, if she works as a bear handler, say, then her response would be different again. As James's theory suggests, past experience is an important component of an individual's consciousness. William James is often cited as one of the founders of functional psychology. A more detailed examination of his ideas can be found in the McCat analysis.